Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Oh man, this is a blast from the past right here. Anybody take a guess what this is? This is a CO2 racer. Back in the eighth, when I was in the eighth grade, I probably had one of the coolest shop teachers of all time. But we made these CO2 cars, and right here in the back, spot where you stick in a CO2 cartridge. And then to race them, you would take little tiny eye bolts and screw them at the bottom. You probably still see the hole where the eye bolt was screwed. You put one on the back and one on the front, and then you would put them on a string. And the starting line had like a 1x6 right here, and it had these little firing pins that you could set off at the same time, and you'd line them up on a string, and on the string would run probably, oh gosh, we used the full length of the shop at our middle school. It was probably about, I don't know, 80 feet long, maybe a little bit further than that. And so that was the project. Everybody got a 2x4 that was this from here to up here, about 3.5 inches tall. And then everybody got a 2x4 that was this big, 1.5 inches wide. Okay. And then you had to shape it on the band saws. And, you made your own design. And we'll talk about why I'm having to fix it here. But so everybody in my class, they all made these little CO2 cars, and they were so many different designs. Some of them had waves and all kinds of different cutouts and stuff in them. But even back then, I was saying, man, the lighter I can make this thing, probably the faster it's going to go. And so I had probably the lightest looking one in the whole class, but I still had some work to do. And apparently the shop teacher had never been beat, because what you do is the whole class would race against each other, and then the winner of the class would get a chance to race the shop teacher's car. Well, I might have Kobayashi Maru'd this. I kind of found out where he was keeping his car, in his filing cabinet. And one day he got called to the office, and I snuck in his office and took a little sneak peek at his car. And mine is different, a little bit different than his, but basically the same. And so while I was making this thing, and because everybody else was almost, about done with their cars, and here I am, I'm still working on mine, on the bandsaw and on the sanders, and I'm even trying to make this thing, as round as I could, still be strong. And I remember Mr. Birch came up to me one day, came up beside of me, and he goes, "Wow, that's a good looking car there, Bennett. It looks awfully familiar." I go, "What are you talking about?" Never mind. I kind of laughed, And so anyway, I ended up winning, out of all of the other kids' cars. And so I got a chance to race him, and I beat him. And when you beat him, I think I won like $2 and 2 CO2 cartridges, something like that. That was the grand prize and bragging rights. And so, of course, after it was all over with, he accused me of cheating a little bit. I said, man, if you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing there, Mr. Birch. Ah, the unfair advantage. So at the end of that, he said, well, you know what, Bennett? He goes, I bet that car won't run straight if it's not on a string. And I go, well, what do you bet? He goes, I bet 2 more CO2 cartridges that we hook this thing up on the shop floor and fire it up, that it's not going to run straight. Well, we did, and it ran straight. It went straight down the middle of the shop. But unfortunately, there was a garage door in the way, and it clipped one of the front wheels and broke off this little piece right here. So I had never fixed it, and I lost the other piece, so I had to make another end for it. You can tell where it crashed. It got a big chip out of the front. So anyway, he was really impressed. Oh, dang, Bennett, that thing ran straight. A lot of fun. I don't even know if kids get to do this in school anymore, but that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Fixed the front end. It had broken off this little piece right here. It broke it. So I had to fabricate a new one out of a piece of clothes hanger and some JB weld. And JB welded this little block of wood to the bottom. Then I'm going to re-drill the hole out. It's already got a hole in it, but just needs to go a little bit to make the axle run through there. Anyway, man, 7 minutes of this thing. My gosh, the 8th grade. That was a long time ago. I kept it for all these years. All right, later.